This is the story of the shortest player in the WNBA and what happened when the league discovered it couldn't stop her. Dana Evans stands 5'6" in a league where the average player runs over 6 feet tall. And in October of 2025, she pulled off something nobody in WNBA history had ever done in the biggest game of the season. Gary, Indiana is where this begins. Born there on August 1st, 1998, Evans eventually landed at the University of Louisville, playing for the Cardinals from 2017 to 2021, and by her senior year, she wasn't just solid. She ranked among the most productive guards in the country. 20.1 points, 3.9 assists, and 1.3 steals a game, shooting 43% from the field, better than 35% from 3, and north of 87% from the free throw line, numbers that put her 27th in scoring across all of NCAA Division I that season. Back-to-back ACC Player of the Year came next, in 2020 and again in 2021. And here's the detail that separates her from nearly everyone who's held that title. She's the only player in ACC history to go from 6th Player of the Year to Player of the Year the following season. A first-team AP All-American nod followed too, only the 3rd in Louisville's history, which tells you this wasn't a fluke season, it was a pattern. Then there's the streak. Evans opened her senior year with 23 straight games in double figures, stretching an overall run to 40 consecutive games of double-digit scoring, the longest at Louisville in 20 years. That record used to belong to program legend Angel McCoughtry, whose 36-game streak had stood for 2 decades before Evans broke it. The 2021 WNBA draft sent her to the Dallas Wings at 13th overall, but that didn't last. Partway through her rookie season, she was on the move again, traded to the Chicago Sky in a deal that sent Shyla Heal, a 2022 first-round pick swap, and a third-round pick back to Dallas. And that trade changed everything almost immediately. All rookie honors came that year, and in that same rookie season, she won a WNBA championship with the Sky. What followed was 4 years in Chicago, mostly off the bench, with a 3rd-place finish in 6th Player of the Year, voting in 2023, marking her high point in that role. Basketball wasn't the whole story, though. September of 2024, after the Sky's final game of the season against the Connecticut Sun, Evans and teammate Isabel Harrison sat in front of reporters and described something uglier than a losing record: the online harassment that had followed them all year. It was really disgusting, Evans admitted, describing fans who steady bash their own team's players as delivering a little slap in the face. Harrison could barely get through it, holding back tears as she told reporters, "I've never experienced this much hate and harassment this entire season," before describing hate that crossed into bigotry and racism and asking people to keep it offline because it's so hurtful. That's the backdrop when on February 7th, 2025, Chicago traded Evans to the Las Vegas Aces for 2025 second-round picks. The change of scenery didn't turn her into a star overnight. She appeared in all 44 games that regular season, but averaged just 6.6 points, 2.2 assists, and 1.1 rebounds in under 18 minutes a night. A quiet, easy-to-overlook bench role for someone who used to be an ACC Player of the Year. Then the playoffs arrived, and the story flipped completely. The 2025 WNBA Finals marked the first best-of-7 series in league history, and Las Vegas drew the Phoenix Mercury. Game 1 tipped off on October 3rd, 2025. And here's where it gets worse for Phoenix and better for everyone who'd been sleeping on Dana Evans. The Aces won 89-86, and the player who made it happen off the bench wasn't A'ja Wilson. Even though Wilson is a 4-time MVP, it was Evans who dropped 21 points on 8 of 13 shooting, hitting 5 of her 6 three-point attempts. That output tied the game-high mark shared by Wilson and Phoenix's Kalia Copper. 5 made threes and 4 steals in one game, a line nobody in WNBA history had ever recorded. And she did it while Las Vegas starters Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young were both struggling to find their shots. What nobody expected was how much of the fourth quarter would belong to her. 3 three-pointers in that final period alone, including the shot that gave Las Vegas a lead it never gave back. And by the final buzzer, the Aces bench had outscored Phoenix's 41-16. Game 1 turned out to set the tone rather than stand as an exception. Las Vegas swept the series 4-0, closing it out with a 97-86 win in Game 4 on October 10, 2025, for the franchise's third championship in 4 seasons. A'ja Wilson took home Finals MVP, averaging 28.5 points and 11.8 rebounds across the series, and becoming the first player in either the WNBA or the NBA to win the scoring title, regular season MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same season. That's Wilson's resume, but the shift in the series, the moment Las Vegas pulled away from a team that had them on the ropes, traces back to the shortest player on the floor. None of that stayed quiet for long, because Evans posted something online after the Game 1 win that turned a championship moment into a rivalry story. It's nothing like getting the last laugh. Sky fans read it as a shot at Chicago, and the reaction split fast. Some pointed to her numbers, arguing her scoring average had actually dropped in Vegas compared to parts of her Chicago run, calling the comment hollow. Others countered that she'd never fit as a full-time starter in Chicago to begin with, and had finally landed in the role built for her in Las Vegas. Her teammate Azura Stevens weighed into the discussion publicly too, and Evans didn't back down, telling critics directly, "Y'all harassed me for over a year." The problem was, none of that momentum carried into 2026 because her season didn't start on schedule at all. A left lower extremity injury knocked her out of the unrivaled playoffs first, and by mid-April the Aces announced she'd be sidelined indefinitely for the WNBA Season 2. When she finally made her delayed debut, it came in a rough one, a 109-75 loss to the Indiana Fever, where she managed 8 points on 2 of 8 shooting, along with 2 rebounds and an assist in 18 minutes. 5'6". That's what Dana Evans stands in a league where the average player is over 6 feet tall, and even the average guard checks in at 5'10". Height never closed the gap between her and a championship, and it didn't stop her from becoming a 2-time champion, a back-to-back ACC Player of the Year, or the only player in WNBA history to record 5 made threes and 4 steals in a single game. Plenty of players in this league stand taller than Dana Evans, and plenty were more heavily recruited coming up. What none of them have managed to do is be her, the smallest woman on the floor, and still the one the other team couldn't find an answer for.